Street to city to do some violent things. Some violent things. Back up, pull up. Hey, yo, just tell the DJ to rewind that. We gon' make that song and it's dance so fire.
Hey beautiful people, you welcome to yet another interesting episode of A Moment with Madlyn. And on today's episode, I'm going to be serving you something entirely different. Yes, because it's the season of love, it's Valentine, and so I will be having a super couple. My name is Madlyn. Stay glued to your seat. I'll be right back.
Yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Davido, and you guys are now watching A Moment with Madlyn. Make sure you don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. God bless you. OBO, Paris.
We gon' make that song and it's dance so fire.
Alright, so you're welcome back from the break, and if you just tuned in, you're on the right channel and at the right time, because this is the numero uno entertainment TV show, A Moment with Madlyn. And today in my studios, I have a super couple on the show, and then we are going to be digging right into their lives. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my super couple, Mr. and Mrs. Ojimadu. Hello.
Hello, man.
Hello. It looks so good together. I like what's going on with the hand holding.
Love season.
Okay. Maybe I should have come with mine.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
you look
glad to be
great.
here. Nice to be here.
Yeah, red tie.
That's right.
Fashion conscious.
Yeah.
Alright, so how are you?
We're good. Fantastic. See?
Yeah, and you look good together.
Yeah, you look good too. Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, so we know you here in Ukraine, but for the sake of our viewers back home, can you tell us who are you, like individually?
Well,
A bit about your background.
Well, my name is Ojimadu, like you already mentioned.
Okay.
We're both Nigerians. I'm a trained engineer, and well, been in this part of the world for the greater part of my life.
Okay.
And met my wife also in this part of the world, and here we are today.
Interesting. And ma'am?
My name is Ojimadu, and I was Miss Ojimadu that became Mrs. Ojimadu. That's the interesting part.
Yeah.
The first connection between us.
Yeah, we share the same surname actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
What do I do here? My husband has already said most of it. I've been here also for almost 30 years. So, I have 3 kids. I'm a real estate expert. Mm-hmm. We are relationship experts. You can say we counsel both married, singles, anything about relationship.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
And you are both from which state in Nigeria?
I'm from Anambra and
I'm
he's
from Imo State.
Both Igbo, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
But do you speak the same language?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
speak
do.
Igbo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Alright, so you people met yourselves in school in Ukraine. How long was that?
Actually, that was in Russia.
In Russia?
In Russia, that
Okay.
was 1991. That's right. And somebody like told me, hey, it's like, you have a sister who just arrived, you know. I arrived a bit earlier than before.
Okay.
So I was like, no, I don't have a sister. I'm not expecting a sister. So come on, there's this girl, this is her name. I was like, okay. So after like a couple of weeks, we met, and that was it.
Whoa.
You know, they were in different schools actually.
Okay, but the same
But
city in Russia?
they're the same city, about maybe a kilometer apart.
Okay, which
from,
cities were those?
That was in Moscow.
Oh, okay.
It was in Moscow, Russia. Yeah. And then fast forward to about the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
That was when we really got to, know each other closely. We started having like, kind of relationship. Which, with 3 years later.
We are going to get there.
All right.
But before then, tell us about school in Russia. What program did you come to study? You two, you both.
I did mechanical engineering.
And you, ma'am?
Chemical engineering.
Okay. You have a lot of things in common, like engineering. Okay, that's interesting. And you graduated in which year?
I go in 1996.
Oh, okay, and you, ma'am?
So we came on a government scholarship then. You know, it was, what do they call it, an exchange thing between our government and the government of the former SSSR. And yeah, well, we found ourselves here, and years after we are here, if anybody told me that we would still be here till now, I wouldn't have believed it. So you never know what life will do with you. But we are happy
to be here together.
Yes.
I mean, whilst you were in school and then they told you that your sister had arrived and you finally met her, like, what kind of person was she? And then,
well, you know, like I looked at her as somebody who was like stubborn, you know, like she didn't want to, like, you know, get too close, you know. Like,
and that's why you said she was stubborn.
Yeah, that was my first impression. But actually, not that she was stubborn. I wouldn't. No, that's not like the definition. I would say. But rather, there was somebody who just arrived, didn't know the town, didn't know the language, the environment was different, so she was somewhat a bit withheld.
Okay.
So yeah, but with time, yes, of course, we got to.
So what was that first thing that attracted you to each other?
Well, like she said earlier, the surname, which is a very rare surname in Igbo land in general. But then,
What does it mean though?
it means the person who owns people.
Oh.
So it could be a king, it could be
I see.
you know, somebody blessed to have people or connections, and
I feel the name has an impact on
yeah, and actually, yes, that name has had a very big impact.
And is that the same thing that attracted you to him? Is it the same
Yes,
thing?
the attraction was the surname, you know. But actually, we started out just, you know, my brother, my sister, and later the letter started turning into how are you, darling, and this and things like that. Before we knew it, will you be my queen? And I said yes, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before that question came up, I mean, did you think you would stand a chance of winning her over?
You know, at first, no. At first, no, because we had, you know, secret
Because you
things we were
mentioned
doing.
she was stubborn, yeah.
That was the impression I had,
Okay,
first,
okay.
you know. But later, you know, when I got to know her better, I knew that, you know, she was just, you know, a very, very nice lady, you know. But, so it was just like, you know, we all used to meet, you know, like, how are you, you know, good in cultural events, you know. Sometimes I used to visit her and stuff. Yeah, but then over the years, when I got to know her deeper, you know, and I was like, hey, I like what I'm saying.
I want to settle down.
Yes.
So at what point, particularly in the relationship, did that revelation, or let me say that conclusion come?
I would say this happened at at a very particular period when we were down. I will let me use the word down in our lives, you know, because after the fall of the Soviet Union, there was very, very huge challenges for students who were there at that period, because the economy changed. The money we used to like earn then, let's say from the Nigerian government, all of a sudden got devalued. I mean, the local currency got so devalued that you could not like really survive with that money. So, and a lot of things, you know, happening both in our lives, and then, you know, it was like when you sat down and you start thinking about issues and the problems that were, you know, the same kind of problems that we were facing. And we got to understand that, hey, we could even sort of help each other, you know, or be in the picture together and be able to even like help, you know, each other. And that's how it clicked.
Oh, okay. So it's because you needed a companion, you needed a support system.
Not just
there
having
was
that support
more
system.
to
There was
that.
more of you know, having somebody who's like, you have the kind of mindset, your views about life, views
Are the
about how to
same.
are the same, how to overcome issues, those issues that we were facing at that particular moment. So we also became like, you know, support systems for each other, and then that's how everything like clicked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because most people, they're like, okay, when I met her, I knew she was the one. Did you know he was the one?
No.
There was nothing like that. Nobody said, this is your husband.
No. We are far from that.
Yeah.
But he won my heart with time, and he's still doing that. Like I told him recently, it's like I'm falling in love all over again. Yeah, just a few weeks ago. So
So tell me
And we are
about the
15 or
wedding.
16
Let's jump
and
right into the wedding. Let's jump right into the wedding. Where was the wedding?
That was in Moscow.
That was in Moscow.
It was in
Yes,
Moscow,
yes.
so 2003.
Okay.
2003.
Right.
It was nice, and when I thought that yes, I think this is time, I proposed. Nothing too extraordinary, like people used to do. Then we went to our pastor, our priest, then, and I got some counseling from him, and then also we had friends and who were like diplomats of the Embassy of Nigeria in Moscow then. These were like people we looked up to, married people with children. So we also met them, expressed our intentions, had counseling as well, and that was it. A few months after that, then we tied the knots, and what made it very extraordinary was like the wedding didn't take place in the church. Instead, the church came to the Embassy of Nigeria. So it was held the very first time such a thing ever happened.
Wow.
It was held in the Nigerian embassy. So we had like the diplomats, our close friends, and now the church came and everything was held in the embassy. It was fantastic.
Interesting. Mommy, when you were walking down that aisle on that day at the embassy, what was going through your mind?
Oh, if you see my wedding video or my wedding pictures, I was, walking down the aisle, was it, Nikki, you're getting married, okay, let's go. But when we got to the point where he said, when I was asked the question, will you take this person as your husband? It took me like forever to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was weeping. I don't know why I was weeping.
So now you haven't figured out?
No, I was just weeping, and everybody was pinching me. He was pinching me. The pastor was like, "Come on, Nikki, you've gone too far. We are here. Say something." I was just weeping, but finally, I let it out and said yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was all emotion.
Yes,
I can
so
imagine.
filled up with emotions, and
We're going to get that video.
Yeah.
How it was. All right. So, after getting married, did you have plans of relocating back to Nigeria?
I would say no.
Okay.
I would say no. Like I mentioned then, it was a point in time that we were trying to get back strongly on our feet.
Okay.
So, we had opportunities around us then, which we knew that we had to explore, and we saw that there were opportunities, right in there. So the idea of relocating to Nigeria wasn't there.
It wasn't in the picture.
It wasn't in the picture, at least at the nearest future, as at that time.
Okay.
It wasn't. And luckily, things worked out, and here we are today.
Okay. You made mention of opportunities. What were
Yes.
some of those opportunities that kept you in Russia at that particular time?
Then, like I said, that was like the transit time, moving from like communism to the modern day democracy.
Okay.
So then we had opportunities like being foreigners. We travel to Europe, even bring down things to the Soviet Union or to Russia, then to sell things that were not available then because the communist system didn't allow importation of foreign goods as well. But the people needed those things. You've seen adverts, they started mingling with foreigners. So we had to tap into that opportunity. We used to travel like to Germany or to the UK, we bring some stuff in to sell, like the jeans you're wearing today, then they don't used to have the cosmetics for ladies, clothes and some other things. So that was the opportunity I was talking about, which
You've mentioned a lot of things. I think you made quite a fortune.
Well, I wouldn't call it like the thing there is not just the financial aspect of it. It was more of a training time also, trying to learn to be an entrepreneur. Trying to also see opportunities at difficult times. So that was what I would say the positives from there. Not actually the financial aspect wasn't like the major thing. It was like being able to learn and to make use of the opportunity that was right in front of us then.
Okay, all right. So, Russia was great. How did Ukraine come into the picture?
Okay, if I would answer, we were in Russia till 2005 January. 2004 we had our first child,
Okay.
our daughter Tyra, And then, as we grow in life, we always think of the next step. The situation in Russia then started changing somewhat. And I saw that, okay, there could be opportunities somewhere else. That's number one. And then number two, at that point in time, I felt that wasn't the environment where I could have raised,
your children.
Yeah, our children, In life, as a man, you took care of yourself, then started taking care of yourself and a wife, and then you now have a child. That's a totally different level, different thing altogether. So, and I have a cousin who was in Ukraine then, and he had been telling me, say, okay, come over here, you got opportunities over here in Ukraine, and again, the opportunities that which I also kind of exploited in 2005 January, and we arrived in Ukraine. We relocated.
Okay, and now you have 3 beautiful kids. And I understand today happens to be the birthday of one of them.
Joshi, our champion.
Hey, happy birthday, Joshi.
Happy birthday, honey. We love you.
You might probably see the video after his birthday, but anyways.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, so, raising your kids in Ukraine, is there anything that you think is missing comparing to if you had raised them back in Africa?
There are pluses and minuses to this. Okay. In Africa, you can easily spank your kid anyhow. We go by the Bible, spare the rod, whatever, and kill your kid. I'm joking. In Africa, you can really spank your kids, but here you don't really do that. You have a different method of bringing up your kid. You can really spank your kid without a cane. You understand? So that is something that, that is the way we bring up our kids. It's not that we don't spank them, but that's not the way they do it back home. You understand? Okay. Yeah. And what else?
Well, there are, like she said, there are pluses and there are minuses. I will not call it minuses. I will say like challenges, definitely. Being blacks in Ukraine, it's like you're walking down the street, you're noticed.
Yeah.
So being children, they were at the beginning somewhat restricted. Like back home in Africa, your child will just leave the house and play with other kids outside, and you're sleeping and you're not worried about anything. But here you don't know, like, who is that person there? Who is that guy? Who is that man standing over there? You don't know if the person is a racist. You don't know. So there was a kind of apprehension always, when you have to come to the balcony to always check
on the kids and all that.
So that's one of the challenges. And again, being an environment, their nannies were Ukrainians. They went to Ukrainian schools, the preschool, then the schools. So they spoke more of Ukrainian and Russian than English. So we only spoke English at home. So, and then being in the mix of whites, let me put it that way, when they start looking at values, for example, what they think that are nice, they could use those things that are more European as more positive than what you have as Africans. Yeah. So we did everything possible to take them to Africa, to Nigeria, to visit as much as possible, have friends, like you around. They could see, okay, we have such a person and such a person. So we tried as much as possible to make them have first of all, their own personalities, and let them also understand that this is the environment we're living in, and this is how we should act. But we don't restrict them, we don't put them in a box.
That's beautiful, and I think every parent out there should take a lesson or two from this. Don't you think, Mom?
Yeah, what else? It's just a part of what he already said. We have some restrictions to the kind of school that they go to, you understand? Till now, they were going to a private
school?
Private Christian school, because of the morals there. Here, you can't compare. This is another difference between Africa and here. You can't compare the morals there back home to the morals here. Here you can see an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, smoking or he doesn't care because the parents smoke too. But back home, you can hardly see such things, you
But
know.
I think you guys have done amazing work in bringing up the kids. All right, so we'll be right back after this break.
What up, your favorite boy, VIK to the TOH. Keep watching the moment with Madlyn. You're done, no? Stay tuned. We're done, no? What's Muria for?
You welcome back from the break, and if you just tuned in, we are still on A Moment with Madlyn, the special Valentine's episode, and I'm still here with Mr. and Mrs. Ojimadu. Man, you guys have really written a lot of amazing books. How did you even get the idea to co-author books together?
We learned from life that when you're giving so much,
Okay.
you have also to give. And one of the main purposes of our books is to give out what we have.
Okay.
We know that we have a very good thing going on in our relationship, and we knew that it would be a crime to live this life and not pass it on, you know, at least to pen it down for this generation and generations to come. Because anytime you type on Amazon, you can get it, even in 1,000 years to come.
One of the books was #1 on Bestselling on Amazon.
Yes.
500 plus questions you have to ask before marriage.
Exactly.
That's right.
Whoa! Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now that we are talking about 500 questions you have to ask before marriage,
Yeah.
what is the #1 question you have to ask before marriage?
I don't remember what
Well,
was
I would say
number
number
one.
one, are you ready? You have to start from yourself.
Okay.
Am I ready? That's number one because
That's just the number.
that's number one because you cannot put your you cannot put your problem just on somebody else. Or you have to be ready in life before you take any step. So it has to start, you know, from and with you. Yeah.
Wow.
And being ready is not just what you say. Being ready is a whole lot of things.
Whole lot of things.
Emotionally, you know, financially, psychologically, even financially is the least of it.
That's right.
You understand? Because you can't carry your
We
baggage.
young ones, I think we are having the wrong perception.
Yes,
Exactly.
we do. You have to know that you're emotionally stable to contain somebody else in your box.
That's right.
You know? Marriage is easy, at the same time it's not easy if you're not prepared.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, is that why your marriage is perfect?
Oh,
You
perfect.
can never say. No, let's not use the word perfect because
Okay,
as
almost perfect.
No.
we're always building on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. And making it work every day.
Yes.
That's what relationship is all about.
Whoa.
There will be challenges in the process as well.
But then
Where you
you'll
also
be-
grow. And then the important thing, like we say, are you ready? You have to be ready to know when this is going on and how to adapt and how to face the challenges.
And be ready for anything that comes up.
That's right.
Ready to tackle it. Having that mindset, oh, it will come up and I'm ready to tackle it.
That's right.
And you won't have any problems.
Okay, and also I read somewhere that you said, Mommy, you said, I mean, you are so passionate about seeing other marriages work.
Yes.
And in today's community, there are a lot of failed marriages, especially celebrity
Right.
marriages. Most of them are failing. What do you think is the problem? What's your take on that?
I think ego is our enemy. That's just the short phrase for that.
Okay.
Ego. When you don't know that, you know, you are two. You're no longer, it's no longer I, it's we. When you put, I wouldn't say really putting the other person's needs or whatever first, but considering the person before making any decision. Because when you're single, it's a different thing. You know, you can lock your room and run to the moon, and you don't have to ask any other person for permission.
Okay.
But whether you like it or not, as long as you're married, you have to consider the second person before making any decision. If you have kids, you have to also consider that your kids, their personalities, as we said earlier. You know, we shouldn't look at kids as if they're not human beings and we just do anything we want with them. You have to seek their counsel then. You know, sometimes, and I can assure you that most of the times what come out from this kid's mouth can really propel you if you really listen, you know. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. And when you were talking about things that sustained your marriage, I didn't hear anything about some money, finances, and all that.
Yeah.
And you know, Valentine, a lot of people tend to rob the bank just to please their loved ones. Like, is it necessary?
No, it's not, because what are your values? These are the questions that you have to ask. If you pin everything on money and on gifts, it's good to give gifts. It's good to make the person happy. But actually, is it that gift? Is it gifts? Is it the number one thing that should make a person happy? It's not. So it depends on where you place your values. That is the thing. Yeah. But it's good. You have to make surprises. You have to make your spouse or your partner to be happy. But you don't have to
necessarily rob a
bank
to make that
2 days after that. Now you go like, oh, what have I done?
Okay.
I think it also depends on what is your partner's love language, as they say.
Right.
Some people, a gift can sweep them off their feet. Some people, just a little touch can do the magic. So you have to study each other, know what you love. If it's gift, you don't need to rob the bank, but at least do something. You understand?
Okay.
But if you just being there, someone will just say, just be there for me, hold me, you are my present. So know your spouse and know what moves him and do that.
Know their love language.
Yes,
you
right.
heard
Exactly.
that. Okay, I think we should have a part 2 of this interview. Let's discuss more because I'm really loving this, but we don't have time. We will move right into the next segment of the show, and I'll be right back after this break.
Hey, what up, my people? It's your boy Perry. You already know what time it is. DMW up in this, Television gang up in this. And yeah, this is the Moments with Madlyn. Stay tuned.
So you welcome back from the break, and it's time for fun. And as you can see, one of my super couple is not here. That means we are about to have a game, and this game is called Knowing Me, Knowing You. And they have been together for a very long time, enjoy the marriage, and are doing so great. So we want to know, Mommy, are you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. She's ready for my questions. Let's get going. All right. What is the title of the Facebook you ever wrote?
Found by Mercy.
Found by Mercy. This question. In your next life, if you had to pick between being an actress and a barrister, which would you rather be?
I think I'm more to an actress.
Okay. Next question. What's your favorite phrase in an argument of all time?
Phrase?
Yeah, when you're having an argument, what do you tend to say more? Just
That's cool, yeah.
Okay. Now let's
I don't even know what the answer is.
let's see if Danny will be able to guess.
He sure won't.
Do you think you would rather prefer cooking or doing the laundry?
Oh, none of the above.
None of the above. Okay. Where did you first meet him?
In a friend's apartment.
In a friend's apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last question. What is his all-time dream vacation?
His?
Yes, his.
His all-time dream vacation. Wow, that's a tough question. Going somewhere close to the hills and water, where hills and water meet, and just without his phones and everything, just resting.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, she's answered. Let's find out if that's the same answers he's going to give us. So
I'm
let's
sure
try
we're not
to
gonna get it right.
All right, so we have Mr. Ojimadu here, and we are about to find out how well and how close they are. So I asked her some questions whilst you were away, and I'm going to give you the same questions, and I would.
Wow.
Yes. So question number 1: what is the title of the first book she ever wrote?
Relationships 101.
Okay. Unfortunately, that was a wrong answer. Question number 2: in her next life, if she is to choose between being an actress and a barrister, what would she rather pick?
I think an actress.
Okay, nice one. Alright, next question. What's your favorite phrase in an argument?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Okay.
Maybe
She
she
said,
say, I want to say, It's okay.
Alright, so next question. Would you prefer cooking or doing the laundry?
Cooking.
She didn't pick any. She said you don't like it.
Oh, I thought the question was for me. That was how you asked it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So
I do the cooking.
Yeah.
Laundry, I do less of the
Laundry
laundry.
is washing machine.
It's
so
very easy,
no
but
problem.
that's like cooking, yeah.
Okay.
I climb up and I cook.
where did you first meet?
That was in
Where?
where? That was in a hostel in Moscow, the Friendship University.
A hostel.
Yeah, at a friend's.
Okay.
Room, yeah, who introduced us.
Yeah, she said the same thing. So the last question: what is your dream travel destination?
You didn't say
This is a
destination.
tough
no?
one because we've traveled to like the places we've had in mind to travel. We set that as goal to travel.
Okay.
So
Just picture a place. It must not be a destination.
Hey, someone is
okay.
giving him hints.
oh, that's a tough one.
Maybe that was mine, I guess.
That might be hers actually. I won't call it a dream. But if you talk of a dream place I want us to travel right now, I should travel back at this moment to travel to Nigeria with.
Okay, she
All
didn't
the
say
kids.
that. She didn't say that. Let's just end the show.
So I have I would say an extraordinary, answer, I believe.
Anyways, that's not what she told us. So
Okay.
she'll tell you today when you get back home.
Okay.
Maybe she'll surprise you with a vacation or something. Alright, so that is it for the Knowing Me, Knowing You segment. But before we end the show totally, Mommy, you're a real estate developer. I mean, you too. How can we locate you if you want to find apartments here in Ukraine or any other place?
Yeah, I have a few outlets on social media. That is on IG, Instagram, Nikki Oje, Nikioje. On Facebook, I have a page, Jovity Apartments, and mine also, my page, Ojimadu.
Yeah, and
That's
you can find all her books on Amazon, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
no, no,
yes.
no.
And on Kada Books.
Okay.
For people in Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Daddy, so what is your last words to young couples, young freshly married couples?
Freshly married couples, I will always tell them, be patient. Know that marriage is not like, it's not the solution to all your problems.
Okay.
You're rather bringing all your problems together and you have to sort them out.
Right.
And know that there are times that you have to come out of your comfort zone, practically the whole period, and also carry your spouse along. You have patience and know that you're looking at the destination. You have to run towards it. And running towards, you have to run that race together with patience, with love, and with self-respect and mutual respect.
Okay, you heard it right. Thanks for coming on the show. I had fun. This is the first time I'm actually having, a couple, and to be you in specific, I am pleased that I was able to have this moment with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
see you for the part 2.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Alright, so today's episode has unfortunately come to an end, and thank you for watching, and I hope you had fun. Do also subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned. It's a moment with Madlyn. Bye.
Rewind up. Where's your wind up? Where's your wind up? Magic moves. Magic city to do some violent things. Some violent things. Back up, pull up. Hey, yo, sis, tell the DJ to rewind that. We gon' make that song and it's dance so fine.